Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dom's Reacts back at you with another video. The other day we reacted to Flight Reacts Predict the Future. So today we're gonna be reacting to some of the worst NBA predictions of all time. This video is by Jimmy High Roller. This video been out for years and I don't know how I hadn't came across it yet. But let's see some of the worst predictions in history. These people are paid to analyze and predict the future and failed. I mean, back in the day, though, used to love ESPN growing up because it wasn't, my bad, it wasn't just a show filled with hot takes that try to get clicks. I think when First Take really took off based off Skip and Stephen A arguing all day, which led to nothing. I think that's just when ESPN started going downhill and just wanted everything to be about clicks. And that's how they got mainstream. So I guess now if I want to see stuff being analyzed, I got to come to YouTube, which nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of great NBA YouTubers out there.
This is a story that I just don't buy.
Started.
Durant to
Well, I didn't buy that story either because I didn't see KD being the snake that he is, like the type of sore loser to join the team that beat him. I don't think nobody saw that coming because the rumor the season before is that if he left, he would have went to the Wizards or Boston because Tom Brady, they said, was in that meeting, a Red Sox player, and he was, and then afterwards he was saying that, you know, he loved the winning atmosphere of Boston. So I thought he would have went to Boston if he even left OKC. I thought he was just gonna stay in OKC and was just prolonging time because he waited to the 4th of July to announce his decision.
the Warriors. I think there's zero chance it
Thank you.
happens. You're not going to get a 45-point night from him. Those days are over. He's a human being.
So I ask you, is Clay a better wing shooter than you were in your prime?
But you're asking Paul.
I'm gonna say no.
I mean, he's supposed to say no.
Milwaukee goes from here.
Whoa. So is this over?
No, listen. I think it's over.
This series is over.
Yeah, they
One
lost.
game? You just sat there and said that they could win an NBA
Yeah, I
championship.
did say that, but
I think there's 4 reasons why the Warriors won't win. Okay, draft over. Portland's taking Greg Oden. It's over. There's no other argument. Any talk show host, any emailer, any caller that goes on, and
we don't
says
know
Durant
what
should be
Greg
number
Oden
one,
could have been.
in doing their homework or is just trying to incite
We
calls
really don't
and be
know what Greg
controversial.
Oden could have
Greg
been,
Oden
so
is
this
the
really
number
isn't a
one
bad
pick. It's
prediction.
all over.
Can
Injuries.
LeBron ever pass Jordan? Of course he can. To me, the question is will and when. And the answer is in about 4 months when this Cavs team wins another title.
This was the year that they lost to KD, right? Declares NBA draft he doesn't have the upside of Rubio, Jennings, Flynn, Mills, T, all more athletic. This goes to show you how much the NBA has done changed since then. Like they used to look for athletic players. Then it became, now it's what it is because of Steph Curry. Can you shoot the 3 ball? If you can't shoot the 3, you ain't gonna last. Brandon Jennings had a great rookie year. Johnny Flynn had a decent run, but he got injured. I don't know. Is that Patty Mills? And Jeff Teague, all more athletic. It's a crazy prediction now, but you got to think about what the league was like back then.
What's up, everybody? It's Jimmy. And in the world of basketball analysts and basketball media as a whole, part of the job is making predictions.
Yep.
How good will a player be? How bad will a team be? What direction is the league heading in a few years? Just another way of breaking down the game and sharing a new or
And you know
interesting
what?
take.
Being on TV that long, you bound to get a prediction wrong at some point. You're not going to get them all right. You bound to get one wrong at some point or another. So are all of these really gonna be some worse decisions? Like, I'm trying to think of a worse prediction that I've heard. I can't really think because the Steph Curry one, that was pretty bad, but that's in hindsight. But in the moment, it was a decent prediction to make because being a 3-point shooter, you was another Kyle Korver, JJ Redick, a player who would have a solid, substantial career, but it wasn't gonna get nowhere. So That prediction
But
wasn't really
often,
bad.
and sometimes far too often,
Oh, yeah,
some
we're gonna see a
basketball
lot of them on
journalists,
here.
analysts, and broadcasters make some predictions that are so out of pocket, so absurd, that you wonder if they're just handed a hot take on a script, knowing damn well it's wrong, but they want to keep their job, so they go live
Sometimes I
on
believe they
television
do.
saying some wild anyways. Now, of course, we're all guilty of making outlandish claims and bold predictions that never panned out. We all have our own bias that can stray us away from facts and reality from time to time. But today, we're gonna take a dive into some predictions made by men who do this for a living.
Look at him. This dude's an ultimate troll, bro. Look at him. Just dare to hate on LeBron. Like, I used to dislike LeBron, but it was never this dude. Like, I used to call him LeBrick, but I wouldn't go around, you know.
On national television,
Look at him,
predictions that couldn't have been more wrong.
It's Le-
Now, this whole video was sparked by a recent prediction made by a man that has basically gone off the rails in the past few months. A man that at one point in time was torching the NBA, but is now getting clowned on by 12-year-olds
Boy
on
Pierce.
Twitter. And that is none other than Paul, I was better than Dwayne Wade Pierce.
I remember
First,
when he said
I have
that.
the
That was
utmost
the-
respect for Pierce. Dude was a bad man for years in the NBA.
He was
loyal
okay.
to the soil for
But I guess you gotta respect Paul Pierce because he wasn't the most flashiest. He wasn't athletic at all. He wasn't fast, but still came out there and give you buckets. He could drop 40 on you any night, but he wasn't the most athletic. So you gotta respect him for that. He was the truth, like his name. But I feel like, of course, any player is gonna say that they're better than the next. So it's not really a. Is that really a bad prediction? Because if he was to say, you know what, I think Dwayne Wade is leaps and bounds better than me, which he is. But if he was to say that, I don't think a player's ego would allow them to say that. I think you would think a lot of former NBA players would come on and give good takes, but I mean, I think it's more so an ego thing. Like, Shaq's gonna favor his era, of course, compared to the modern era. So they're gonna come push their own bias and agenda.
15 seasons and brought us some of the best memories of 2000s basketball. But with that being said, this man done lost his damn mind post-retirement. After a string of dodgy statements that had the basketball community in uproar, Paul Pierce went out of his way to predict that the series between the Celtics and the Bucks was over after the Celtics won just the first game in the series.
I don't know where Milwaukee goes from here. Because
Whoa. So is this over?
No, listen.
Didn't
I think it's
Milwaukee
The
come
series
back
is
and
over.
win 4
Yeah, they
straight?
lost.
This game, you just sat there and said that they could win an NBA championship.
Yeah, I did say that, but
Now, I know that Pierce has a bias towards Boston.
That's probably
That
what
was
it
his
is,
team.
honestly.
I know the Celtics won by 22 points. But this
I think it's
is
more so the
last
bias.
thing Pierce needed on his plate at the moment. You got a team that finished with the best record in the NBA, with presumably this year's league MVP leading them, and
Yeah, he
after
did win
just
MVP
one
that year.
game, you claim this series is over. To make matters worse, because Paul Pierce loves to make matters worse, after having some time to go home and think about what he said, this man returned the next day and doubled down on his statement saying that the Bucks had no chance against the Celtics. Since making this prediction, the Celtics have lost 4 straight games against the Bucks, 3 of those losses coming by double digits. Giannis just keeps getting better and better, and the Celtics watch their star walk off the court in the final moments of Game 4.
Nah, he's in Brooklyn.
I love you, dog, but I'm gonna need you to hold this for me. But at least Pierce played the game and can speak from experience. On the other end of the spectrum,
And at
you have a
least
guy
he-
like Colin
well,
Cowherd, who is super entertaining to listen to, but only because his analogies are second to none.
Melo is that bad relationship partner, leaves the toilet seat up, doesn't help with laundry, dishes always in the sink.
And because his predictions are
Okay.
just so off the wall. Like in 2007 when he had this to say about Greg Oden and Kevin Durant.
He is quicker than Durant in the lane agility drill and has better numbers in the running and standing vertical.
But like I said, this can't be too. This isn't a worse prediction because we for all we know, Greg Oden could have came and be a top 10 center of all time for all we know. I feel like I can't say top 5 because I feel like the top 5 is a lock. And will always be no order. I'm just naming them off the dome. Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, Hakeem, Bill Russell. I think those 5 will always be a lock. So I feel like he could have had a top 10 career, but we don't know because he got hurt.
Jumps in the standing vertical jump, a 7-foot center. Okay, draft over. Portland's taking Greg Oden. It's over. There's no other argument.
They did take Greg Oden.
Any talk show host, any emailer, any caller that goes on and says Durant should be number 1 in doing their homework or is just trying to incite calls and be controversial. Greg Oden is the number 1 pick. It's all over. Couldn't bench a $185. Well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It's a physical league. It's a long 8-month season.
He's a small
But you're telling me I can draft just another wing guy?
Just another
guy who...
Okay, now you lost me on this part. He did lose me on this part when he called him just another wing. I was agreeing about the fact that, okay, he maybe Greg Oden could have had a good career. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But he called him just another wing. That's disrespectful, bro. He's more than just another wing. He's, or in my opinion, top 10. He belongs on the top 10 skilled players list. And he also probably, if not number 1, he's a top 2 scorer of all time. Because people's going to say Jordan, but I have him above Jordan. Because he can get it done more ways. But you were definitely wrong, Matt. I mean,
Antonio McDyess written all over.
Max.
He'd be a good player, but he's just another wing guy. Danica Patrick can bench press a $185.
Now,
the NASCAR
I will
racer,
say,
right?
hindsight is always 20/20. And at the time, Greg Oden was seen by a lot of experts to be the number 1 pick in the draft. But how are you going to call a 6'10", lengthy, shot-creating wing that averaged 26, 11, 2, and 2 a game as a freshman in college just another wing? Durant had superstar written all over him from day 1. In fact, years later, Durant had some choice words for Cowherd and his harsh prediction. I knew nobody in the draft could guard me. I knew that. And I knew that you didn't have to bench press to lift a basketball up. I was ranked the last person in the camp drill-wise. I was the worst player. That tells you a lot about the significance of that stuff. But this wasn't the last time that Cowherd made a bold and strikingly inaccurate prediction about KD. In 2016, Cowherd said that there was a 0% chance of Durant going to the Warriors, and on the
like I said in the intro, I think pretty much everybody, when they heard the rumor of the Warriors and KD, everybody immediately dismissed it because we thought the competitor in KD wouldn't allow that to happen. So we all pretty much thought, whoever started this rumor is crazy because why would he join the team that beat him? But I guess he is a snake. But I thought I thought he was prolonging time to make his decision to go back to OKC. Or if anything, he was going to go to Boston. Because like I said in the intro, they said Tom Brady, some Red Sox player, and of course the Boston owners was all in that meeting to convince him. And after the meeting, he came out and said, he loved the winning atmosphere that Boston has and the strong fan base that Boston has. So I thought maybe he would have went to Boston.
Off chance that
and then the summer before that, the rumor was him going home to the Wizards. Just imagine. I think John Wall, because this is still John Wall at his peak before he got injured. John Wall, Bradley Beal is still a second option. So maybe it would have digressed Bradley Beal's development. But John Wall, Bradley Beal, KD, automatically, I don't know if they're a finals contender, but they're at least Eastern Conference Finals.
It would be a bad move.
This is a story that I just don't buy.
Nobody.
Durant to the Warriors. I think there's 0 chance it happens. And I don't think it's a good move. I think there's 0 chance it happens.
Just 6 days later, Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. But the madness doesn't end there. Just a few months after his initial prediction, Cowherd went on to say that this new Warriors squad had no chance of winning a championship.
I think there's 4 reasons why the Warriors won't win. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2, where's the beef? Number 3, LeBron's a nightmare matchup, especially because they have no rim protector. And the
I mean, you should have known from the start LeBron wasn't going to be enough. He needed some kind of help to beat this Warriors team. And the fact that he really thought that the LeBron and the Cavs would lose to the Warriors is crazy.
4th reason, all the pressure in the world is on Golden State. There has never been an NBA
Pressure,
line
that's a good
this
argument,
overwhelmingly favored that doesn't, in its current form, have a championship.
But, of course, the Warriors went on to win back-to-back championships over the next 18 months. And although Cowherd does have some takes that make you want to call your internet provider and shut off your service just to avoid hearing him ramble for even another second, at least he's entertaining. He's creative. Someone who is neither of these things and has even more atrocious takes and predictions is Skip Bayless.
I thought he was going to say Nick Wright.
The man that has made a career off of hating on other men.
Skip is pretty
and
entertaining.
Just like
though.
Cowherd,
Skip is more so a troll than anything though. Like, and his trolling is definitely entertaining. I thought he was going to say Nick Wright, because Nick Wright can't stand the dude.
Some bold predictions over his career, like, oh my God, when he claimed that a 52-year-old Michael Jordan could beat a prime LeBron James one-on-one.
I remember watching this one live.
He right now at 52 years old,
Right here, right now.
beat LeBron one-on-one. I mean, and beyond. Come on.
You know, Stephen A.
Oh gosh.
Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on his face. He got the troll look on his face. But yeah, I don't know why I was at home for. Did we not have school this day, or was I sick? I don't remember. But I remember watching this live. But yeah, the look on his face. He's trolling, bro.
Don't do this.
You know, troll look.
He just might.
They knew it was coming because the troll look on his face.
Yep, this man unapologetically actually said this nonsense on live television.
The troll
Not
look on his
necessarily
face.
a prediction, but he was asked a hypothetical question to which he gave a piss poor hypothetical prediction. Also,
If peak LeBron played Mike in a 1v1, we pretty much, the fact that, I don't know what's crazier, the fact that Skip says this, 34% of people agree. I'm like, a lot of these people, because this, I think, is during the time when LeBron was still kind of in that hated phase. So yeah, it was a crazy time to be a LeBron fan, because yeah.
by the way, wait, what is this? What is this?
Yeah, I'm about to say the fact that
34% of NBA fans
people
polled
agree with
believe
him.
that Michael Jordan could beat LeBron James in one-on-one in 2015. Really?
Boy, if you don't get...
Another failed Skip Bayless attempt at foreshadowing the foreseeable future was back in 2012 when he said that Kobe Bryant was overpaid and that Tim Tebow was a bigger draw in the world of sports.
I heard Kobe, but what?
Talk about Hollywood. Tim Tebow's Hollywood.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow's a bigger draw than...
Yeah, like I said, this is around the time period when ESPN started just saying. I think this is around that time period where they just started saying stuff for clicks.
Bryant is right
Kobe
now.
Bryant?
He's a bigger draw than Kobe Bryant. Yeah.
Go to break.
Since that
Go to break.
statement, Kobe Bryant went on to average 28 points that season, received 5 more All-Star selections, and was selected first-team All-NBA 2 more times. Tim Tebow took his last NFL snap that season. But when it comes to overstatements, hyperboles, and astonishingly inaccurate predictions, nothing tops the classic duo of Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. I mean, really. Was there anything better than watching these two men holler at each other for hours on end, getting absolutely nowhere, saying anything and everything that pops into their heads while simultaneously not saying anything at all?
You must be crazy.
I'm not. Watch what happens.
You're going to be disrespectful.
Watch what happens to Rudy and Zach Randolph. Watch what happens.
You're going to be disrespectful.
Those were the good times. Loud, obnoxious, but good times. Like in 2011 when Skip and Stephen A made a list of the top 5 players in the NBA, and neither of their lists included LeBron James. Now, let me be a bit more clear. In 2011, the prime of LeBron's career, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith each made a list of...
You know what? I know why they did that. 2011, his first year in Miami, nobody wanted to give him credit. I think that's why nobody wanted to give LeBron credit for anything. I didn't either. But, yeah.
The top 5 current NBA...
Dwayne Wade... Yep, because this is when he made his decision. So people was like, oh, LeBron's going to be second to fiddle to Dwayne. KD second. Kobe third. Okay, Dirk. Carmelo. Where is Dwight Howard on this list? Because I believe this is around Dwight Howard's prime too. Dwight Howard, on a lot of people's radar, was considered to be the some people said second. It was most people, they said LeBron, Dwight, Kobe, or LeBron, Kobe, Dwight. So he was unarguably a top 3 player at this time. Who else would I put up here? This may have been after the choke job, so that's probably why Dirk is 4th. Melo. But yeah, I don't know.
Players, and neither of them had LeBron on their list.
Carmelo Anthony is not the 12th ranked player in the world. He does have the clutch gene. Dwayne Wade and...
Okay, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, Dwight. Yep, he had Dwight on his list, so yep. I'm telling y'all youngins don't know about prime Dwight. Y'all just know about the Dwight that get passed around from team to team like a... Yeah. Dirk and KD 5th. Yeah, this list, except for I would put LeBron first, Kobe, Dwight, Dirk, then KD, yeah. No, then Melo maybe, because this is around the time where Melo was at his peak too. KD and Melo at one point was right there neck and neck. People forget that. It just, Melo never had playoff success. And maybe, is this around the time where people was mad at Melo too for not going to Chicago and signing back with the Knicks for the money?
Dirk Nowitzki at number 4. Dwayne Wade at number 1. Dirk Nowitzki at number 4.
They really had Dwayne Wade at number 1.
After these top 5 lists were released, LeBron went on to win regular season MVP, an NBA title, and Finals MVP the very next season. Because he also went on to win another regular season MVP, an NBA title, and another Finals MVP in the following season. Speaking of LeBron, not everyone thought highly of him early on. In fact, there's this old clip floating around YouTube of a sad and desperate Cleveland Cavaliers team being interviewed by a local news.
That draft was rigged. That lottery was rigged. Most NBA draft lotteries are rigged. That's a crazy conspiracy theory I got for y'all, but most draft lotteries are rigged because, think about it, the hometown hero going to Cleveland, which the Cleveland really had the worst chances. I don't know, but yeah, that was rigged. Derrick Rose going to the Bulls was rigged. Cavs getting all those first overall picks after post LeBron, rigged. A lot of these draft lotteries be rigged, by the way. I'm just saying.
Station, and in these brief interviews, players on the Cavs were asked what they thought about a high school LeBron James. Some of them had encouraging words for the kid. Others, not so much.
I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team.
Darius Miles, I remember that name, but there's a reason.
If he came
and took over the team.
You know what I'm saying? He can just hop on our bandwagon and hopefully we can do something big.
We have better players than him in his position already on our team, bro.
Better players at his position?
Sky's the limit for him, though.
Yikes. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see LeBron and Carlos Boozer together, because Boozer had a solid career. I think if he had Boozer next to him, they could really done something.
Darius Miles, a young talent, but also a player that never even
him.
averaged double-digit scoring, and Carlos Boozer, the 4th best player on a 17-win team, basically wrote off LeBron before he even got to the league.
Ooh.
Fortunately, LeBron was everything he was hyped up to be. Won Rookie of the Year the very next season and was by far the best player on this same Cavaliers team just 1 year after these interviews. Unfortunately for Miles and Boozer, LeBron was everything he was hyped up to be. Darius Miles was traded just 37 games into LeBron's rookie season. Carlos Boozer was traded the following season. The Cavs became LeBron's team, and the rest is history. And to be fair, their predictions on LeBron weren't too far-fetched. Remember, just 1 season prior to LeBron's intro to the NBA, DeJuan Wagner was another high school hooper who was gassed up and drafted by Cleveland, but didn't quite have the impact people were.
DeJuan Wagner. I don't even know who that is, honestly. But hey, that's probably why. But yeah, high school players used to get hated on. Like that's why and it was always risky drafting them. Like people would say a lot of them would end up being immature. So that's why they added that 1 and done rule. But I'm like, what is 1 year of college really gonna do? And especially now, since the camera's on you, probably now as early as middle school. These players got to grow up faster now and be more mature faster. So they should start back letting them come straight out of high school.
Expecting. But these predictions were made late into LeBron's high school career, and if you didn't know by then that he was going to be a superstar, you deserve to get old news clips of you dug up and examined. 2 guys throwing shade at a high school kid saying that he wouldn't have a huge impact on their team were both within a year not even on that team anymore due to that high school kid's impact.
Life is crazy.
And those predictions were about as bad as another prediction that was made years later. Dan Gilbert, owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, made an awfully bold prediction, or should I say promise, to fans of the team and against LeBron James as well. In 2010, Dan Gilbert released a letter to the public in regards to LeBron's departure from the organization, saying that the self-declared former king will be taking the curse with him down to South Beach. And until he does right by Cleveland and Ohio, James will unfortunately own this dreaded spell and bad karma. He then goes on to say that he promises a long overdue championship. But as we all know, Dan Gilbert was as wrong as he could possibly have been. Since LeBron went to Miami, won 2 rings, came back to Cleveland, and won a ring there as well. Not only was Dan wrong about LeBron finding success with the Heat, he then had to swallow his pride and watch the man win his organization a championship.
Bronny.
Pathetic. Now, although being a former player in the league does give some analysts first-hand experience to speak from, this doesn't always result in the most educated guesses, as we recently learned. Like in 2015, when Charles Barkley predicted that the Grizzlies, the Blazers, and the Mavericks would end the season as the best teams in the West, although it was the Warriors who had by far the best record in the league and were en route to a 67-win season. He then went on to say that jump shooting teams could not win championships, and the recipe
proof that Curry's people used to say stuff like this all the time. This is further proof that Curry's impact, second greatest point guard of all time in terms of greatness, because you got to put impact up there. Curry just can't. I felt like the change was inevitably whatever the word is to come, but Curry made that change come in a whole lot faster.
Warriors had created was not one for success.
You're passing the best team. Yeah, the best team in the West, the same way you did it in the East. I think that I will pick 3 teams. That's not exactly the question. Because like it's a fluid situation. I think Memphis getting Jeff Green, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Dallas Mavericks. I think those are the 3.
He said Memphis, okay. Trailblazers, Mavericks. He didn't even count in the Spurs, but this is proof. And look at the Warriors record. But yeah, this is proof that I think you gotta. He's kind of old school. Like even recently, he said he don't like the 3-point era of the game now. So it's like I hate when this is why I kind of got my gripe with old players being on ESPN or TNT or whatever, because they just gonna be and look at my Lakers all the way down here, man. Sad time for us. But hey, yeah, this is why they always gonna be biased towards their era. And then like if the teams that he's talking about, that's why I'm like surprised he didn't say the Spurs. They're all defensive teams. So of course them older players gonna favor that defense, and a lot of the younger players gonna love that 3. Ooh.
3 best teams in the Western Conference.
One more time.
No Warriors. Memphis Grizzlies. No Warriors. No Warriors. No Warriors. No Spurs.
Wait, how can you dismiss a team that has the best record?
Both conferences.
Is number one shooting.
That's why I said go there.
That's that old head out of him. That's that old head out of him.
I have said the exact same thing.
Dumb prideful old head.
16 years here. I don't like jump shooting teams.
You still don't.
I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams, shoot jumpers.
I was gonna say something, but that's messed up.
Bold predictions, the Warriors went on to win 3 titles in 4
Like,
seasons
and
have been the most winningest team in NBA history. But at least Charles played in the league, was a beast, and earned the respect of those
but didn't get a championship, so how does he know what's required of a championship team?
You have earned the right to be off on your predictions when you have played 16 seasons
in
the NBA, earned 11 All-Star appearances,
but
and
still,
one league
he didn't
MVP.
win a championship, so how do you know what's required?
This man has
Nick
never
Wright.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire,
done. Which is fine. Not all of us can be freak athletes at the pinnacle of the world of sports, but we all have sports opinions and predictions we'd like to share with those willing to listen.
Yeah,
but in December of 2000,
be like, when you try to criticize I guess that was wrong of me to say what I said about Charles Barkley, because I do hate when people be like, oh, you never played in the NBA, so you can't say such and such and such thing. I hate when people do that, because my thing is, if I don't like a movie, since I never produced a movie, I can't say that it's bad. Or if I'm not a chef, I can't say I didn't like the way that this food was cooked. It's only with sports that people do that. Oh, you never played in the NFL, so you can't criticize them. You never played in the NBA, you can't criticize them. It's only with it's only with sports people.
2016,
and especially if it's
Nick
a tape
made this
that
bold prediction.
They may disagree with.
Can LeBron ever pass Jordan? Of course he can. To me, the question is will and when.
Okay.
And the answer is in about 4 months.
But yeah, honestly, I do hate this GOAT debate stuff. They used to do it every day on ESPN when this season got shut down last year, but it was a pretty down time, man. What a time. Because it was like, oof. It was bad because it's like you criticize this era, put this person over that person, but they don't play this under the same rules and the same circumstances. So I'd rather you just same place. Neither do they play with the same play style. So I'd rather you compare. This person is the greatest of his era. This person is the greatest of this era, versus overall GOAT, because all of the rule changes over the years.
Cavs team wins another title.
Yeah.
5.
Oh, that was
Kevin
good.
Durant
Yeah.
way outside, delivers. Kevin Durant from downtown. It's a 6-point game.
And what would a bad prediction video be without a few terrible draft scouting reports? Like in 2009 when this man said that Stephen Curry didn't have the upside of Ricky Rubio. Or when Jonathan Giovanni of Draft Express said that Russell Westbrook wasn't worthy of a starting position in the NBA and gave the Seattle Supersonics a C grade for drafting Westbrook with the 4th pick and Serge Ibaka with the 24th pick.
I didn't know they was drafted
Predicting
the
the
same
success and growth of a player before he even enters the NBA is not easy. But this prediction wasn't even in the right zip code. Another scouting report that was just as piss poor was by Paul Banks of the Washington Post in 2009.
Johnny Flynn was He was a great playmaker. Yeah, he was a playmaker, and he had a little athleticism to him. It's like, yep, athleticism. So yeah, I feel like he could have had a solid career, but injuries held him back. Because then he hurt his back in the very next season, his hip, or it might have been vice versa. I don't remember, but a back injury to a basketball player can really hurt.
When he said that Johnny Flynn was the safest top prospect of all guards in his draft class.
During this time, the NBA was a more athletic route.
Johnny Flynn.
He could have had a good career.
This is the same draft class that featured guards like Patrick Beverley, Drew Holiday, Jeff Teague, DeMar DeRozan, and James Harden and Stephen Curry. But no, according to Paul
low-key, that draft, because DeMar DeRozan, Blake Griffin was drafted this year. This draft is low-key 2009, right? One of the greatest draft classes of all time. Yes, I said it here first. One of those greatest draft
It was
classes.
Johnny Flynn who was the most impressive guard in the draft. But no matter how many bad predictions we must suffer through, no matter how much an analyst misses their mark, nothing tops the streak of wrong predictions Stephen A. Smith had when he incorrectly guessed the winner of the NBA championship for...
He had the Heat over Dallas, which I think everybody did. Dallas won in 6. OKC over Miami. I think at this point nobody was believing in Miami no more. Spurs over Miami, which that wasn't a bad take. Miami won in 7. Ray Allen saved LeBron. We already know that. 2014, the Heat over the Spurs, which the Spurs was out for their revenge. They blew Miami out in every game. But yeah, I think a lot of people gave up on the Spurs at that point because there's like, if the Spurs let the series go on for so long, their age is gonna show. The Cavs over the Warriors. I think everybody had the Cavs over the Warriors that year. 7-3-9 Warriors. Pretty sure most people had them over there, but that choke job.
6 straight seasons.
How do you get it wrong?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
straight
This
times,
man had a 50-50 chance of predicting the correct outcome of 6 straight finals, most of which had
a little of his logic for most of them. This team's that's supposed to win, not 4, not 5, not 6. There's no way this dinky Mavs teams can beat them. I see that. LeBron gonna choke again, and the Thunder's the next dynasty. If the Thunder won this one, then they may have been on the road to being the next dynasty. Who knows? Westbrook. I don't think Harden would have developed into what he is because the team would always favor Westbrook over Harden. Because remember, Harden was still coming over off the bench. Okay, he got me last year, but the Spurs kicked him last time, so it'll probably happen again. Good point. All right, fine. I'll buy in. LeBron is gonna three-peat. Okay, that was cool. He went back to Cleveland. No way he doesn't get one for the land. That was a good one. The Warriors have LeBron numbers. They are the real new dynasty, NBA dynasty. Yeah, they were the dynasty. They lost this one. I don't even know no more. Who has the better record?
A clear favorite, and time again guessed incorrectly.
I mean, the logic isn't that bad.
Miami the edge in probably 7 games.
The Dallas Mavericks.
He had it going to 7.
Can the Thunder win a title with as point guard? The American people have spoken, and Stephen A. wins.
The Miami Heat are once again
people agree with
NBA
Stephen
champions.
I think Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich, and the San Antonio
The
Spurs.
real question is why you don't question the GOAT, but why was Tim Duncan not in the game in those closing moments?
Pull it off. I'm picking the San Antonio Spurs to win this series.
It's back-to-back titles for the Heat.
When the series went to 7, we knew.
Resides once again in Miami.
Blame you. I'd probably bet my money on the Spurs, but I use the word probably because Skip, I'm not doing it.
He's not doing it again.
When you go up against a great team, it takes a superstar to close the deal, baby. And it is time. It is apropos. It is perfect timing for LeBron James, King James, to show that he's got some Jordan-esque skills.
And Antonio is back on top once again. The Spurs are the
They destroyed Miami that year.
I'm going with the Cavs.
What? The Golden State Warriors are the 2015
Nobody really
NBA
saw this
champions.
coming. Let's be real.
Yep. I'm picking the Golden State Warriors.
Everybody
to win
thought
these finals.
73-9.
Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Blame Draymond.
Now, it's one thing to be wrong, but being wrong
Six
this many times
straight.
at this big of a stage is just odd. Honestly, I'm not even mad about this. I'm actually borderline impressed at how Stephen A managed to pull off this incredible feat of inaccuracy. Statistically speaking, you only have a 1.5% chance of getting a 50-50 guess wrong 6 times in a row. The man couldn't do this again even if he was trying. Think about it like this. Everyone watching this video, grab a coin, flip it, and try to get the outcome wrong 6 times in a row. Chances are someone watching this video will accomplish this feat fairly quickly, but for the majority of us, you'll find that it is improbable that you'll guess the wrong side 6 consecutive times. What Stephen A. Smith did was so incredibly, so vastly flat out wrong.
You know what? This
that
should have got
it's
Flight to
actually
predict.
difficult
Maybe he
to
would have predicted
replicate.
all 6 of them.
This man gets paid millions of dollars to sit and talk sports, and yet isn't even obligated to be even remotely accurate in his assessment and predictions. I've been sitting here for the last 20 minutes, and I can't incorrectly guess the outcome of this damn penny 6 times in a row if my life depended on it. Truly one of Stephen A. Smith's most disappointing, yet somehow impressive
I guess it's
moments.
impressive.
But all of these moments were impressive in their own right. It isn't easy being this wrong. And yet all of these men somehow pulled it off. Some of the worst predictions in NBA history. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
Okay, we got a great video. Had to drop a like for you. Subscribe to Jimmy High Roller. Subscribe to me as well. Please like, comment, subscribe. Share the video with your friends. Link will be in the description to the original video. And I'm out. Peace.